It is Chair Shot Reality on WrestleZone.com in the beautiful Point Park University Studios in downtown Pittsburgh. I'm Justin LeBar alongside Josh Eisenberg. Episode 294. 300 is quickly approaching. Perhaps next week we will make our first announcement of who will be joining us with episode 300 Survivor Series weekend. But before that, let's talk about John Cena, Josh. The champ. Big match, John. Let's first talk broad, and then we'll get into Dolph Ziggler.
Okay.
What overall is left for John Cena? You talk about I talk about Randy Orton's and everything over a couple times. John Cena has nothing left to do.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I really wanted to see from John Cena that he's not yet really done. There's been a few matches here and there, but John Cena versus The Undertaker is something that we really haven't seen before. And I think that was something that everybody thought, well, this guy could be the guy that Vince says, John, you're breaking the streak. You're my guy. You are the one that's produced the most merchandise over the past 15 years. You're the guy who's main evented multiple WrestleManias. Well, that streak's no longer there. So what else is left? I still think that there is some, maybe some positives in a John Cena-Undertaker feud. I think you put two legends together, two guys that have really created paths in WWE their own way. The Undertaker, his own mysterious character, and John Cena, the complete opposite, where everybody kind of hated because of the character that he continued to be. But I do think John Cena needs to drop the United States Championship to somebody young and shy away from championship matches and really go to these grudge matches that people want to see. There's no need for a John Cena World Championship reign. There's no need for a John Cena United States Championship reign. There's nothing more, maybe besides John Cena turning heel, and we know that's not going to happen.
Well, I won't completely dismiss that it's never going to happen, but we obviously understand that right now he is the top face, he's the top heel. Undertaker match, absolutely. That is still that one thing that we all would like to see. Obviously, it would have been more intriguing if the streak was still intact.
But then there's no Brock Lesnar.
But then, there's no Brock Lesnar. I'll say this, and here's an interesting thing I'd like to throw out there that I don't think is beyond the realm of belief, and that is this. I would like to see, I don't know if WrestleMania weekend's the one to do it, or if it's next year in New York when they come back for SummerSlam, but how interesting would it be if they had John Cena on one of the NXT specials?
It'd be fun. It'd be really fun. I think John
Cena on an NXT special with that kind of NXT crowd, and they've established NXT is not really developmental anymore. It is just a third brand. Cena's done everything else. How great would it be to see that?
I don't know. It would be interesting because John Cena would be a guy that you put in the NXT program. Nobody's going to cheer for him. I mean, not a lot of people cheer for him now, but you have those, Oklahoma Cities or those crowds that are, a general fan base of maybe the younger to female version demographics compared to, New York, Boston, Chicago. If he goes to NXT, Justin, there's potential for great matches. There's potential for good storylines, but I don't know if John Cena can be John Cena in NXT.
I'm just talking one or two one-off thing. It's almost
against
like
who then? Like who would you put him against?
Well, it all depends come that point in time of when you do it. Whether we're talking WrestleMania, whether we're talking next year in August, a lot could happen. A lot of people they could sign. Who knows? I'm just saying for one or two offs, almost like without an official John Cena heel turn, it's almost like John Cena, as you said. It's like John Cena at the ECW One Night Stand shows. 10 years ago, it's like Matt Hardy in Ring of Honor. He's playing that guy who's that WWE, I'm rich, I'm larger than life. I know how talented I am, but you may not admit it. And then against the indie guy, so to speak.
And I'll tell you, the one guy that actually could thrive in NXT is Dolph Ziggler. And this gets us to the point of Dolph Ziggler's involvement now. Are they planting the seeds for a Dolph Ziggler-John Cena feud? I don't know if they are. I think Dolph Ziggler needs to do something different. Dolph Ziggler's always going to be popular. He's always going to be a fan favorite. Some of my best Dolph Ziggler time is when he was the world champion for the first time for a cup of coffee and then dropped the title to Edge, technically speaking, with the Vicky Guerrero storyline. That was really good Dolph Ziggler because it was different. And you had Edge, a really developed and established guy in the company, and a young gun like Ziggler. Now Ziggler is not the young gun. He's developed and established. So where does he go in this whole situation?
Here's my problem with this whole Dolph Ziggler-John Cena thing. And I touched on Triple I Radio, and I said I was going to go into it right here. I have such a nervous feeling about this. Mm-hmm. Never mind how contrived all the Dolph stuff with Nikki Bella on Total Divas is. It's ridiculous to think that John Cena is their top guy. John Cena, if he wanted to, can make Dolph Ziggler disappear. I don't see how we're expected to believe that Dolph Ziggler is dumb enough for as beautiful and as cool as Dolph Ziggler might be, or as horny as Dolph Ziggler might be. I can't think that Dolph Ziggler is dumb enough to go and try to take the girlfriend with reality cameras around of the top guy. That said, it's contrived, it's a work. all pro wrestling is that. But still, the problem is I like art imitating life, but this isn't real life. This is art trying to imitate more art, and I think I have that much more of a salty taste in my mouth because we saw how many detours, how many problems like the Lana stuff ran into when they tried to do that Dolph Ziggler was just involved in. So all in all...
Well, let me ask you this. Is it Dolph Ziggler's fault then? A lot of these storylines are going one way and they're completely stopping, whether whether it's years ago with championship reigns, whether it's injury. It could be Dolph Ziggler's fault that maybe the storylines that he's in are not coming to fruition.
I'm not saying it's Dolph Ziggler's fault. I'm just worried of what this is. I mean, then you have the case of they never actually say they talk about it on Total Divas. They never actually say John Cena's name when they talk about Nikki Bella. You slept your way, or you go all the way, or who you date. He never
says you're John Cena.
They never say that. And the thing is, Nikki Bella's a heel. John Cena is still technically a babyface of how he's booked. Dolph Ziggler's a babyface. So you have a babyface and a babyface fighting over a heel girl. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of confusion I have to it. I hope it works out because if all the pieces come together, if they make this work, where if they could even trick the internet basically and have people really thinking that this is art imitating some real life nonsense going on behind the scenes, which we've all heard about in the past. Edge, Lita, Matt Hardy, Chris Benoit, Kevin Sullivan, Nancy. So we know this stuff happens. If they can truly try to make us believe, then yeah, that's exciting television. But I worry that it's going to fall very flat.
I think WWE, in wrapping this up here, missed a big opportunity this past week, and I wrote about it on WrestleZone. Big E should be the United States
Absolutely.
champion. Would you agree?
That was a start of my trip. Was it? That was a start of my Tuesday Trip Live Radio. Yeah. There was no reason why Dolph Ziggler couldn't have came out and accidentally hit John, and that's what got Big E the title.
Absolutely. You got to capitalize on what the hottest thing in WWE is, and they've done such a great job over the past couple of months, and in the beginning of the year, from being completely irrelevant to ending Monday Night Raw. And like Blake Mitchelmore, plugging even more on CSRWrestling.com, he, in the New Day, Big E in the New Day, took out Dolph Ziggler, the Dudleys, and John Cena. It's not like they're taking out the Ascension. Yeah. They've arrived.
Well, and there's just no reason to have that big of a hype for the main event in John Cena's hometown. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? It wasn't anybody. It wasn't any major surprise. So at that point, you need to let a title change happen and let everybody know that the New Day is for real. At Josh Eisenberg 4, at Justin LeBar. We got more talk coming up this weekend. Coming up next on WrestleZone tomorrow, the Kane storyline. One of us likes it. One of us doesn't. We'll debate.
One of us is sane. One of us is insane.
We'll debate. Welcome back. Chairshot Rally on WrestleZone.com. That is your #1 procrastination tool on the internet. Make sure you check out CSRWrestling.com. Jimmy Corderas, former WWE ref for over 20 years, writing every single Wednesday to a blog. A lot of great stuff from Jimmy, as you can expect. He's got 20-plus years of stories and great perspective, being the third man in the ring for some classic matches. Also, you can check out CSRWrestling.com or our YouTube channel, as you can see the show in full bit, or sometimes we break it down into smaller segments. So if you miss any bit of the show, YouTube has got it covered for you.
And if they want to get involved, BS on CSR, Blake Mitchelmore, Shane Shoemaker, hosting a podcast where you, the fans, can voice your opinion and be a part of Chair Shot Reality.
BS with CSR, recording every, I believe, Wednesday evening, and then they air on Thursday on CSRWrestling.com. So stuff everywhere.
All over.
Let's talk, Josh, about this one. This is going to be fun. Kane. Kane, right now, he's going to be challenging for the WWE World Heavyweight title against Seth Rollins. To me, that's not the story. We know he's not winning the WWE World title. I am just straight up enjoying. I think this is quality entertainment, and I love this. It's simple. It's fun while you have the serious intensity of Brock and Undertaker going to hell, wrapping this up. No. While you have Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns, we'll talk about that later. While we have John Cena potentially, going to be fighting over his girl at Recess. I think that this is kind of like a fun, almost light. And I predicted this back in the summer. I said a Demon Kane versus Seth Rollins in the fall time may be a good thing because we had to get closure to their budding rivalry they've had for months. I like this. Corporate Kane. Oh, nope, I got to go to the back. Here comes Demon Kane.
How do you like this?
I think it's entertainment.
This is amazing, the fact that you like this storyline.
Entertainment.
Did you see the segment where Kane gets in the ring and, oh, my knee hurts, and he has to go out? That was such a horribly paced, booked time segment. It took too long for the match.
Talk about the one with HR Ashley.
No. This past week, the tag team match. The tag team match that they had, it was terrible because WWE, for some reason, thinks Corporate Kane is selling tickets or getting people interested. When was the first, any time that an unmasked Kane did anything in WWE?
Well, when he was unmasked, he's had.
Has he though?
Yes, as Demon.
I don't think so.
As Demon Kane unmasked when he unmasked.
No. That's why they brought the mask back. And whenever he did the Rise Against Hate or Above Hate against John Cena.
Look, I think that this is entertainment. I don't know what else. What would you rather Seth Rollins be doing?
I would rather have him face a Demon Kane who does not have to have a split personality like Abyss in TNA, where Joseph Park Abyss and, I'm going to go backstage, but come back out in a mask. It's not entertaining to me. It's not entertaining to a lot of people, and that's why the ratings are plummeting, because your world champion is in a ridiculous feud. A guy that you think is going to be the future of your company is in a ridiculous feud with a guy who looks like IRS in the ring.
Look, the fact of the matter is this. We have seen as you just said, that we've seen John Cena versus Kane. We've seen several times where they try to rehash the Demon Kane, and people, let's be frank, it was great for the comeback. Oh, he's back, mask is gone, pyro's off, or pyro's going off, and then they got bored with it because it wasn't the same old classic Kane. This is a way to kind of breathe new life and do something new and fresh. I know the idea is not fresh. Yes, you can reference Abyss and Joseph Parks. I know it's not a fresh concept.
Everything's redone.
Everything's redone. There's nothing really much original left anymore. But I think it's a nice job to see just something a little bit different for Seth Rollins, who has gone through so much redundancy elsewhere on the top of the card. And let's give credit to Seth Rollins. It's given him a chance to show another dynamic of his character, to be able to play this. I don't even know how I would describe it, but him having to react to this, I think it gives another dimension to Seth Rollins. Well, I enjoy it. And of course, the ultimate thing is it's leading to what the ultimate payoff is, which is Seth Rollins, Triple H, and the ultimate ascension of him being the Authority's boy.
WWE is trying to keep Kane relevant, and Kane has had a phenomenal career. He's been one of the most intriguing characters and one of the most intriguing storylines in WWE history. I get that. But you took the mask off, you put it back on, you took it off, you put it back on. Keep things, whatever success that you had with Kane before, you can do again. And I don't think Kane, I'm okay with Kane and Seth Rollins finishing their feud up. I just don't like the fact that the mask is off, the mask is back on. And I'll tell you this, and this is for all the internet fans out there, who wouldn't love to see a Seth Rollins Cesaro or a Seth Rollins Kevin Owens feud for the world title instead of a Seth Rollins versus a 49-year-old man?
All right, well, there's your cheap pop to get all the internet fans to support you. But the fact that, of course, we'd all love to see Cesaro more than what we see him now. We're all happy for Kevin Owens to, getting time and getting any kind of title. But the fact of the matter is, you have Kane. You got to finish the business. They had so much time invested past the spring and summertime with Kane and Seth Rollins having their budding issues, like almost like two siblings inside of the Authority. You need to finish it off. Kane's a reliable
tonight or this week. I hope it's this pay-per-view.
I don't think this is going any further. I think it is going to get wrapped up. But
it has to be.
Yeah. How perturbed would you be if it goes into anything longer than?
Well, because after this is Survivor Series. You have to do Survivor Series. You have to have some sort of a big match. And I'm fearing this. I'm fearing that something happens at Hell in a Cell again, like a mix-up or some screwy finish, and Kane loses the director of operations, Kane, thankfully, and puts the mask back on, and then you have Kane as just 100% Demon Kane attacking Seth Rollins until he gets in their match. I'm fearing that's what's going to happen, because months in November, December, January, right before Royal Rumble, that's when the World Championship takes a back seat to the Royal Rumble match, to TLC matches and things of that nature.
Well, and don't forget, Kane will be teaming with his brother, The Undertaker, on select dates in Mexico for the Mexico tour. So obviously they're going to keep Demon Kane around in some capacity, no matter what. Chairshot Reality, WrestleZone.com. I am Justin LaBar. Follow me on Twitter at Justin LaBar. Of course, you can check out my Twitter or check out triblive.com/sports/pro wrestling, as I was down in Orlando with NXT in the Performance Center. A lot of good stuff and interesting stuff that you can check out there. And, of course, at Josh Eisenberg 4, he's got your Raw reactions. He's got your reactions to pretty much everything. As well as posting news all through the week on WrestleZone.com. We're where you want to be. CSR is what you want to watch. You got one more coming up on Sunday. We'll talk Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt. A lot of baffling things to me in this, but we'll discuss that tomorrow here on WZ. Chairshot Reality, WrestleZone.com, episode 294, getting closer to episode 300. Make sure you check out CSRWrestling.com every single day. We have blogs coming from Blake Mitchell, Shane Shoemaker, former WWE referee Jimmy Corderas, our newest addition. It is the place to be, and of course you can see all of CSR behind-the-scenes content, photos, videos on the website. Josh?
Is it true that 300 is going to be like a circus here at CSR Point Park University?
A circus?
It's just going to be crazy. Episode 300. I've been with you for 300 episodes.
299 more than I thought I'd get through.
Hence why I'm an alcoholic.
I think I beat you to that punch.
Maybe. Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, Justin. Hell in a Cell match coming up at the pay-per-view from the Staples Center in Los Angeles. A lot of things have been baffling for you, and I want to get your opinion, because I actually was entertained by the past couple of weeks between these two men in this six-man feud with Orton and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose and the Wyatt family.
First and foremost, I feel like this has been I feel like they've been occupying my TV, Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, for a long time, and I don't other than them being at 500 and Braun Strowman joining the Wyatt family, I don't know what else has really been accomplished. I will say Roman Reigns he's got less boos. It's almost like he feels like he's regaining his some popularity to the fans since the WrestleMania Royal Rumble debacle of fans booing him. So maybe they built Reigns back up. So that's a success. Braun Strowman's debut, that's a success. That's good. I just feel like this has been going on too long, and there's not been enough impact for me when you have Roman Reigns, who is Superman. He has that look of that tall, dark, he's a superhero kind of look, and you have Bray Wyatt, who is just the range is endless. On paper, I don't want to see this match in Hell in a Cell because I want to keep that gimmick protected, and that gimmick and all of its impact for Lesnar Taker. However, I think I have to be happy that it's in Hell in a Cell because I'm seeing them fight each other every Raw and SmackDown in a tag match, a 6-man tag, that a Hell in a Cell is the only way I'm going to be able to distinguish that, oh, this is important.
It would be very important if WWE realized that these two are their top 2 young guys in WWE. Whether you love or hate Roman Reigns, whether you boo or cheer him, and whether you yell believe that or I'm never going to believe you, I think Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt are 2 guys that you have to continually build up. And I don't like the 500 record. I don't like a win, a loss, back and forth. But if you wanted to make this match interesting, if you wanted to make this match meaningful, a number 1 contender's little dangling over the Hell in a Cell, because I do think this. I think Roman Reigns wins this match. As much as we want to see Bray Wyatt win, as much as we want Bray Wyatt to carry a championship in WWE, I don't know if backstage feels like he's ready for a world championship reign, but I do know, and then history has shown, that they do think Roman Reigns is maybe not completely ready to be world champion, but that much closer. That needed to be something that WWE should have spotlighted and made important, because after John Cena is the United States champion, after Ryback and Kevin Owens in their Intercontinental Championship feud, you don't know who the next guy up is. And you haven't known who the next guy up is until a month before, where they rushed John Cena. A month before, where they had guys like, Kane coming in.
Well, I kind of agree on the point. On the one hand, I think Reigns, certainly, you need to get a win. If you have any big plans for him for next year, Road to WrestleMania again, you need to start really building some serious momentum. However, I tend to lean towards, and we still have a few weeks to make predictions, so it's not my final prediction, but at the moment, I still kind of got to lean towards this is setting up for Roman Reigns, looking big, looking bad. It's going to get violent and physical in Hell in a Cell, as it should be, and this is a perfect time for Dean Ambrose to turn his back on it. It certainly seems like they're dropping teases and hints that Dean Ambrose could turn on Roman Reigns, and that this would be the opportune time. And if he does so, you'd have to think that's going to cost Reigns a match. So Wyatt gets the win. Now that might be okay. That might still be exactly what Reigns needs. He needs, he needs to get vengeance on another best friend. Seth Rollins turned his back on him. Now Dean Ambrose turned his back on him. And maybe that might be the exact momentum that Reigns needs to thrust and go into Rumble, as that's still 3 months away, but it's worth thinking about in long-term booking. This whole thing, I hate the fact that we have such talent. There's such talent in Roman Reigns. There's such talent in Bray Wyatt. There's such talent in Harper. And I just feel like there's just been such a...
It's been in neutral.
Yeah, in neutral.
It's
exactly.
been in neutral. And WWE knows that they have guys like Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt that can put on good matches, but they don't know how to develop storylines for Bray Wyatt. And this isn't the first time. This isn't the last time. Bray Wyatt is such a unique and different character. And that's the problem for WWE, because they don't know how to develop a character as unique as Bray Wyatt, but continue to make him unique. They took away the entrance video. They took away the "we're here" blowing and the whole theatrics behind that, and they just stuck with the cell phones. I'm okay with that. I would prefer to see that "we're here" thing back, to bring the fans to really draw and say this is a big deal. And that's something they took away whenever he was a face or whenever he was a heel, because they thought it was too much of a face.
And added on to the things you listed, another problem I've had with Bray Wyatt that they've done is Bray Wyatt. Luke Harper's had more has had more matches than Bray Wyatt now in their careers. They've had more. Actually, I don't think it's just television. I think it's actually equal to live events. Luke Harper has outdone Bray Wyatt in matches, which, in the one hand, that's okay, because Luke Harper is quote unquote the henchman. So Bray Wyatt has the mind control. So Bray should have him doing his bidding work, dirty work, and Bray fights on the big matches. But the problem is that when Bray then goes to fight the big matches, I just feel like he's just never successful.
Yeah.
So then when you take the theatrics away, then you take away any credibility of winning anything. It's kind of like, well, what do you have? We're wasting a guy who should be doing so much more.
You want to make a good old CSR bet right now, Justin?
Oh boy.
Roman Reigns or Bray Wyatt, who holds a championship first?
A championship?
A championship. Yes, a championship. Excluding the Divas Championship.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would say Roman Reigns still.
I'm going to say Bray Wyatt.
See, I traditionally...
You know why I'm going to say Bray Wyatt?
Why?
I can see those guys being tag team champions with Luke Harper, or I could see him going for an Intercontinental Championship feud, or potentially potentially back to John Cena and actually reclaim the United States, not reclaim, but claim the United States championship.
I could see him maybe trying for any of those titles, maybe, but the fact is WWE does not typically give characters like that titles.
They need to now if they want to salvage what Bray Wyatt is and what Bray Wyatt can become. He needs it now. It's time for him to.
I think you're more likely to see Roman Reigns do the correct progression this time around and grab one of the mid-card titles, the mid-card titles that have gained their some importance back. I think you're more likely to see him do that, and then, of course, again, eventually get thrust back to main event status. But I'll say Roman Reigns first. You say Bray Wyatt, and that's that.
Time will tell. It's on tape.
What are we wagering?
It's on tape. What are we wagering? Yeah. You tell me, Justin.
We'll talk about it off air.
Sounds good.
Josh Osborne 4 at Justin LeVar on Twitter. Make sure you check out youtube.com/CSR Wrestling if you missed any bit of the show and want to see it all in one click. It's great for your lunch hour, your commute, or if you just want to ignore your boss. Of course, columns every single day on CSRWrestling.com. BS with CSR audio podcast. So much, you can't miss us.
So much content.
So much content, you can't miss us. We are just a buffet of goodness.
And I love buffets.
He does love buffets. Chairshot Rally, WrestleZone.com. We'll see you next week.